Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Lingo Listen. I'm Emma.
And I'm Sam. It is so good to be here with you today.
How are you feeling, Sam?
I'm feeling quite thoughtful today.
Oh, what is on your mind?
I was thinking about a coffee shop.
A coffee shop? That sounds nice.
It was, but I saw something interesting.
Tell me.
Two people were standing in line.
Okay.
They were looking at their phones.
That is very common these days.
It is. Then one person looked up.
And?
They said, "How are you?" to the other person.
That's polite.
It was polite, but the other person didn't really look up.
What did they say?
They just said, "Fine, thanks."
And then?
Then, silence. Total silence.
That is exactly what we are talking about today.
The "how are you" trap?
Yes. Today we are exploring the science of small talk.
And how to make it meaningful.
Exactly. How to talk to strangers without feeling awkward.
I think many English learners find this very scary.
It is scary, even in your own language.
True, but in English, it feels like a double challenge.
You have to find the words.
And you have to find the courage.
You know, Sam, most people think small talk is just being polite.
Isn't it?
Well, it's actually a psychological barrier.
A barrier.
Yes, it's like a wall of safe words.
How are you? Fine. Good weather. Yes.
Exactly. It's a loop, and it kills the conversation.
So, how do we break the loop?
We use a pattern interrupt.
Pattern interrupt. That sounds scientific.
It just means doing something unexpected.
Like wearing a funny hat?
Maybe. But no, it's about the questions we ask.
So instead of "how are you,"
Exactly. We want to bypass the superficial fluff.
superficial fluff. I like that phrase.
It means things that don't really matter.
Imagine you are in that coffee shop, listener.
You are standing in line. The air smells like roasted beans.
Someone looks at you. They smile.
Instead of asking, "How are you?" imagine asking something else.
What could we ask, Emma?
Maybe, "What are you looking forward to today?"
Oh, wow. That is a very different question.
It is. It makes the other person stop.
It makes them think.
And it makes them feel.
That's the secret, isn't it? Moving from facts to feelings.
Yes. Facts are boring.
I am a teacher. I live in London.
Exactly. Those are just data points.
But I love teaching because I like helping people.
Now that is a connection.
I think many learners freeze up because they worry about grammar.
They do. They think, is this the correct tense?
And while they think, the moment passes,
The stranger walks away.
and the opportunity is gone.
You know, it's not your English that is the problem.
It isn't?
No, it's your strategy.
So we need a new strategy.
A strategy of emotional inquiries.
That sounds fancy.
It just means asking about how things feel.
Let's try a repeat after me moment.
Good idea. Let's practice some better opening lines.
Listener, try to say these with Emma. Focus on the feeling.
What brought you here today?
What brought you here today?
What's the best part of your week so far?
What's the best part of your week so far?
That looks interesting. Tell me more.
That looks interesting. Tell me more.
How did those feel, Sam?
They felt open.
Yes, they are like doors.
And you are inviting the other person to walk in.
You know, I used to have social anxiety.
Really? You seem so calm.
Now I am. But before, my heart would race.
What changed?
I realized that most people are just as nervous as I am.
That is a very comforting thought.
It is. Everyone wants to be seen.
Everyone wants to be heard.
So, if you are the one to start, you are giving them a gift.
A gift of connection.
Exactly. No pressure, right?
Right. Just a small gift.
Sam, tell me about a time a stranger talked to you.
Oh, I remember. I was at a train station.
Was it raining?
It was very hard.
Classic.
I was looking at a map. I felt very lost.
And did someone help?
A woman stood next to me. She had a very bright yellow umbrella.
I can see it.
She didn't ask, "Are you lost?"
What did she say?
She said, "The rain always makes the city look like a painting, doesn't it?"
Oh, wow.
It was so poetic. I forgot I was lost.
And what did you say?
I said, "Yes, but I think I'm standing in the wrong part of the painting."
That is a great response.
We both laughed. Then she helped me find my train.
See? That wasn't small talk.
No, it was a shared moment.
And it started with a feeling observation, not a fact question.
Imagine you are that person with the yellow umbrella, listener.
You are the one who notices the beauty.
You are the one who shares a thought.
It doesn't have to be perfect English.
No, it just has to be authentic.
You know, there is a science to active listening, too.
Active listening? Isn't that just hearing?
No, hearing is passive.
Like hearing the wind?
Yes, but active listening is like catching the wind.
Tell me more.
It means using your whole body to listen.
Your eyes? Your smile?
Yes, and your micro reactions.
Like saying, or really?
Exactly. Those small sounds tell the other person, I am with you.
I am following your story.
Let's practice some of those connection sounds.
Okay, I'll say something and you react, Emma.
Ready.
I once traveled to a tiny island in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, wow.
There was no electricity, just stars.
Really? That sounds amazing.
It was. I felt so small under the sky.
I can imagine that.
See, I wanted to tell you more because of your reactions.
It works. It's like fuel for the conversation.
I think many learners stop translating in their head when they focus on the other person.
That is the goal, shifting from your head to your heart.
When you focus on your own grammar, you are alone.
But when you focus on their story, you are together.
It's about being a master of first impressions.
And a first impression isn't about being perfect.
No, it's about being warm.
Exactly. People will forget your grammar mistakes,
They really will.
but they will never forget how you made them feel.
That is a very deep thought, Emma.
I have those sometimes.
I'm glad you do.
You know, Sam, we should give the listener a social mission.
A mission? Like a secret agent?
Yes, but for English.
Okay, what's the mission?
Next time you're in a public place,
A bus stop, a grocery store?
yes, anywhere, I want you to look for one small thing to notice.
Not a question, but an observation.
Exactly. That's a very interesting book you're reading.
I love the color of your scarf.
The line is moving very slowly today, isn't it?
And then, wait.
Yes, give them space to respond.
Don't worry about the next sentence.
Just be there in the silence.
The silence is okay.
It is. It's a breathing space.
I feel much more confident about small talk now.
I'm glad, Sam. It's just a skill, like riding a bike.
The first time, you might fall.
And that's okay. You just get back up.
And try a new question.
Exactly. You know, looking at the time, we've covered a lot today.
We have, from pattern interrupts to yellow umbrellas.
It's been a very meaningful talk.
It really has. I feel connected.
Me too. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Lingo Listen. We truly hope this conversation helped you see small talk in a new way. Our key takeaway for you is this: stop trying to be perfect and start trying to be present. Use your heart to listen, and the words will follow.
We are so happy you chose to spend this time with us. If you enjoy these calm, simple English conversations, feel free to subscribe or leave a small comment. Tell us, what is one thing you're looking forward to today? We'd love to hear from you. No pressure, we're just happy you're here.